Hey, good morning, everybody. I get all these lights set up here this morning. We got a little shower here. Doesn't look like too much looking out there. Hey, I was reading in Proverbs this morning. It said a wise man craves knowledge, and fearing God is beginning of knowledge. So I'm going to read Proverbs. I got through most of the New Testament, got through Revelations. I'm going to start over with Proverbs. One of my friends said that was his favorite thing to read, so I'm going to read it. But it already talked about knowledge and wisdom and how we need to yearn to learn more. So that's pretty interesting in the Bible, you know it. Hey, yesterday morning I had an interesting morning. I had to run to Walters, and I mentioned that we sell 10-foot panels, which you can use stalls, arenas, round pens, riding, whatever you want to do with them. They move around easy. One person can move them around. They're very durable. I've been using them for 10 or 12 years personally. So I got a distributorship on them thanks to the owner. And so he had bought some panels and a couple of those frame gates. So I was going to Walters anyway. And I thought he lived over at my Uncle Royce's old place. And I hadn't been down through there in 3 or 4 years. And we farmed in Cotton County. My mom was from out there west of Walters. But she thought we needed to go to Lawton schools, and Daddy worked at Fort Sill, so we lived at Lawton all my life, but we drove back and forth and farmed. That's where I learned to sleep in a pickup, because ever since I could walk very good, we drove back and forth farming, checking cattle, so I always napped going and coming to Cotton County. So anyway, my Uncle Royce, I never heard anybody say a bad word about him. He was a hard-working. He moved a lot of cattle, traded a lot of cattle, worked long hours, was a great guy, helped me out with showcase back in the limousine era when it first started coming over. He bred some AI'd, some cattle, and let me have choice of a pretty nice black cow, steer. He might kick you a little bit. He was a little bit on the wild side, he was. But he was a nice steer. He was a little bit typical when the limousines come over. He was a little streamlined, long-bodied, needed to be a little thicker. Nowadays, he wouldn't be so good, but back then, they kind of went from small to large all of a sudden. But anyway, it was really nice meeting Rex, great guy. I'd heard a lot about him through Zach Woods. And Braxton, he was down there helping him. Hadn't seen Braxton in quite a while. He's kind of spread out a little bit and looked like one of those guys that he was a little old skinny wormy rail here 2 or 3 years ago, or 6 when they were coming through here with Zach. But he's a little stouter made and looked good, so it was good to meet Rex and see Braxton. So I went by the places we used to farm down there on the way back and come up through my Aunt Joyce. There was an old crooked bridge down there, and it was rattling. It was wood, and they built a low water crossing for the farmers to get their equipment back and forth across the creek, because it was sandy. So somebody in the county took a dozer, sloped the edges so you could get through there with your tractor, because we had a place out here west of town, and we farmed it, so we had to bring the tractors back and forth a few times a year. So once they put that low water crossing in, you couldn't hardly get a pickup or anything across it because the old creek was so sandy. They had some concrete down there, but anyway, we could get the tractors back and forth. They put a new concrete bridge down there and straightened it out some, and my aunt's house looked the same, and Uncle Royce's place looked really neat. Rex had it all cleaned up. He had done some improvements, had some fancy working chutes with a shed over that and stuff. And I come back up through, when we got through farming this place out here west of town, well, I sold some 2.5 acre tracts and put some little trader house out there, some rent-to-own deals. And I hadn't been by there in 4 or 5 years. Missy, how you doing this morning? So, I was kind of thinking, boy, that thing's going to be pretty junky looking, because it's been a long time since I put those trailer houses on there. Probably mid-'80s, early '80s, something like that. But it wasn't. They had trees around the trailers, and they'd probably put some new ones in some of the places. And there was one trailer house that was probably been repossessed by the bank or something. It had the windows knocked out there on the front. But everything else was pretty neat. It was kind of interesting to see how people had taken care of their places and improved them, and I was kind of proud of it. I didn't know if I would be proud of it or ashamed of it, but it looked good, and it was kind of a step back in history yesterday, a few decades ago when we did all that stuff. But it was interesting to come up through there, and it didn't take much longer to get home that way. Come up by where old Gene Burke used to live down there, and some of the Shirlers went by their places and stuff in my little route there, and some of those guys, they always left an impression on you. And one of the biggest things that my Uncle Royce left on me is he walked fast. When he went, he worked fast, he walked fast. He didn't dilly-tarry around. He was on a mission every time he was doing something. If he was working cattle, if he was checking cattle, if he was checking fences. I remember one time we was over there in Tillman County. We both had a place over there. And some reason, when we were walking across this pond dam to go do something, and I was probably an early teenager, and he wasn't an early teenager. And I almost had to run to keep up with him. That's what a mission he was on. And that's one of the things I always remember about him, is he was on a mission to get stuff done. So we need to think about that in life. Everybody has their own speed and gets things done at their speed. But that's Uncle Royce. He was my favorite. Yeah, my Aunt Joy, she was a hard working. She always wore little black jersey gloves. She'd drive the tractor, move the hay. She did whatever. Uncle Royce was Mama's brother, and Aunt Joy was her sister. And then they had Aunt Faye down there, and when we went to see Aunt Faye, she had some paddles. Now, nowadays you wouldn't think about this at all, but they had paddles with hose drove in them, just like you'd whip a kid back in the day. And they had lots of equipment out there and lots of wasp. So when we went to Aunt Faye's, we went wasp hunting. We seen how many wasps we could kill without them stinging. I don't think me or my brother David ever got stung. I know I didn't. He might have got stung once or twice. But no telling how many wasps we killed with those paddles. Now, how many parents would send their kids out there, but it was a sport. Yeah, it was a wasp killing sport back then, and I didn't go by that place yesterday. It was 4 or 5 miles out of the way, but when I'm down in there, I always think about the wasp hunting, and we had a lot of fun with the wasp hunting. Hey, y'all, we're going to do a little roping today. We teamed rope yesterday. Ross was here. He makes those head horses look a lot better than I do. I don't know what there is about him that makes them look better than I do. We had a good time. Dina, she videoed for us. We got a horse called Dragon that was Dina's old horse, and we hadn't rode him in ages, because we just kind of kicked him out there. So we got him up here. She rode him. I heeled on him. He was pretty good to heel, need a little more brakes, but he was fun to rope on. Get my old drink mixed up here this morning. Got to have me some energy and get to going. But it was a good kind of history day yesterday. I enjoyed it. I was just by myself, so I didn't tilly-tatter around, but you just think about all the old times back in the day, that when we were kids growing up, that we did things. It's always kind of nice to go back through that a little bit. And I'm not a history nut, but I spent a lot of time in Cotton County. We always hunted quail all the time. We was checking cattle down there. We knew where all the quail was sitting alongside the road. Then when all the hunters from Lawton come out of there a few years later, our quail hunting wasn't too good. There was too many hunters and not enough quail. But there for several years, we would spend as much time quail hunting, feeding in the wintertime as we did feeding, which I enjoyed hunting and I enjoyed shooting, and so did my dad. So we had a good time doing that. We're going to do a little calf roping day. Ross is coming up. There's old Derek Davis. My son Jared was trying to make fun of Derek the other day about his team roping. Derek's won a lot of money over the years. He team ropes really good. I don't know why my son Jared was trying to make fun of Derek the other day. He's up at Vernon tonight. Ross said he was thinking about going to Warwick to the rodeo tonight. So we'll see which way they scatter out. I'm going to go with one of them or both of them. I don't know how I can go with both of them, but I wish I could. I enjoy watching them go rope. But we'll chase a few calves. We hadn't chased any calves since Ross has been here. I've been in and out, and he's been in and out with different stuff. I think we're about where we can spend more time roping, not so much in and out with the oddball stuff that we had to do. Dina, she roped really good yesterday. Hey, I got this microbionic. I'll learn how to pronounce it one of these days. I use it on the horses. You can use it on any kind of animal, from your dog to your giraffe to whatever you got. Derek, no telling what he might have over there. I take a shot of it every morning myself. It has no taste. Helps your belly work good for you so you don't have stomach aches and you don't have to use Tums. I used to eat Tums. I used to probably should have bought part of Tums because I used to eat them things all day long. Now I seldom have a Tum unless I've done something stupid eating-wise in the evening. I need one or two, but very seldom. Derek, he's pretty high-tech there. He's texting me here and talking all at the same time. Yeah, Jared, he likes to stir the pot a little bit. I don't know how he gets by with it so much. I guess because he's so big, but he gets by with it pretty good. But anyway, I've known Derek way back since he was a teenager. He used to come over 2 or 3 of them and rope. He roped a lot better than the other guys that come over, but Derek's always roped good. But we'll have an interesting, fun day today. Remy, my little great-grandson's got a birthday party from 2 to 5, so we'll get around and go there. It'll probably be a little bit toward the 5-ish before we get there, time we get through roping, and then we'll be just right to go to the rodeo. I'm bad about being a little bit late to some of that if roping's involved. But anyway, I'm trying to do better on being on time for the grandkids and great-grandkids. Remy, he's a pretty cool little old kid. He acts like a little man he ever has since he could walk. He just got a little man look to him. Kayla, she went to some of her stuff yesterday. They had some track stuff, and it was amazing. Rita, how are you doing? She run 100 meters, and I think she won second. I've never seen her go out of a trot to going anywhere, usually at a slow walk and looking back and see if you're looking at her. But now she was trucking on, and there was a tall girl that she passed. Jared, he did some videoing, and she passed this tall girl just like running a big race now. And Jared said the tall girl didn't get a medal, so she wasn't very happy when they give out the medals. And I can just see Kayla, she has that grin about her that just makes you want to just hug her like, I know I'm good. She is so fulfilling. Her IQ is so much higher than ours in a lot of ways that she works all of us. And you can't do anything about it besides let her work you, because she knows the system and knows it good. But I couldn't believe how hard she run yesterday on a mission. She was on one of them missions like Uncle Royce was to get to the finish line and get her a medal. So very proud of Kayla and the effort she put out yesterday. So that was amazing that she did that. And she's an amazing girl to be around because she'll get you laughing, and you can't keep from laughing if she gets on one of her rows. And it's her way or no way. I can tell you, you're not going to fudge her off of the line one way or the other. Well, I've done enough rattling today. I better go feed these horses, and I got to try to get somebody to work on my lawnmower. I messed it up last night trying to work on it. I shouldn't work on stuff. My mechanical ability just doesn't seem like it. I need to stick with horses. I do a lot better with horses than I do mechanicking. So, hey, y'all have a blessed day today. And if you want to know any more about the supplements, put hay in the comments. If you want to know about the gut stuff, put gut in the comments. If you want panels, we'll put panels, and I'll call you. Or my number is 580-591-266. I was reading Rita. She said, have a great day. 580-591-2660. Hey, y'all have a blessed day and enjoy your family over the weekend.